I can express metric length measurements in terms of a smaller unit, model, and solve addition and subtraction word problems involving metric length. Now today we are going to begin a very, very short unit on measurement. And this whole unit, we're going to just learn a little bit about something called the metric system. Okay, and to learn more, we're going to watch this short little video, and then we'll proceed with the lesson.
Welcome to the first episode of Metric Measurement About Length. Here, you will learn how to identify and describe the size of a meter, centimeter, and millimeter. This can help you to estimate how tall or short, far or close, wide or narrow something is. Here in the United States, you usually hear about inches, feet, yards, and miles. These are customary measurements. However, everywhere else in the world, people use a different way to measure called the metric system. You have heard of meters, centimeters, and millimeters. These units or parts of length are used to measure distances too. The basic unit of measuring length in the metric system is the meter. This ruler measures a meter. Find a door near you. The doorknob or handle is probably about 1 meter above the floor. Our class went on a treasure hunt for things that measured about a meter. This is what we found: the height of a science fair board, the height of a cart, and the leg of a meteorologist. Let's play an estimation game. About how many meters high do you think these lockers are? Remember, a meter is about the height from the floor to a doorknob. You're right if you guessed 2 meters. A meter is too big to measure small things, but we can divide a meter into smaller pieces called centimeters. There are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. Look at your pinky finger. The tip of this finger is about 1 centimeter wide. We went on another treasure hunt and found these things that were about 1 centimeter. This is what we found: the width of a pen, the width of a computer board key, and the width of a pencil. Let's do another round of our estimation game. This time use your pinky to estimate centimeters. About how many centimeters do you think this crayon is? If you guessed 9 or 10 centimeters, you're right. Sometimes you may need to measure something very small, like the thickness of the lead on your pencil. If you divide a meter into 1,000 pieces, you get a millimeter. That means there are 1,000 millimeters in 1 meter. Look at the tip of your fingernail. The tip of your fingernail is about 1 millimeter thick. Here are some of the things we found that are about 1 millimeter. The eye of a small smiley face sticker, the period at the end of a sentence, and the thickness of a popsicle stick. Now it's estimation time. Look at this paper clip. About how many millimeters wide do you think it is? Try to imagine how many of the tips of your fingernail would fit across a paper clip. If you guess close to 9 millimeters, you're right. Things that you are familiar with, like fingernails, pinkies, and the distance from a doorknob to the floor can help you to estimate length. Using these things can help you to remember the size of a meter, centimeter, or a millimeter. Keep those iPods ready for the next episodes where we will explore metric units of capacity and weight.
The metric system is a form of measurement in the United States. Oh, and The metric system is a form of measurement. In the United States, we use something called customary measurement. These include inches, feet, yards, gallons, quarts, pints, pounds, ounces, and so on. The metric system uses meters to measure length, grams to measure weight, and liters to measure liquid. The metric system is based on a system of tens, just like our place value chart. We will be focusing on 3 measurements today: centimeter, the meter, and the kilometer. A centimeter is about the length of a staple. A meter is the height of a countertop. When you look at a meter stick, sometimes you might get confused and think that you're looking at a yardstick. But a meter stick is part of the metric system, and it is made up of 100 centimeters. Now, a kilometer is similar to our mile that we follow in the United States, that we use in our customary measurement system. The kilometer would be, an example might be the distance of Quick Trip from Pawnee. Now, if a centimeter is the length of a staple, you probably don't want to use a centimeter to measure the distance from Quick Trip to Pawnee. You probably want something that's longer, okay? So, today we're going to work on the centimeter, the meter, and the kilometer. There's 2 things you have to know for this lesson. You have to know that 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. 1 meter also equals 1,000 kilometers. If 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters, what does 2 kilometers equal? 2 kilometers equals 2,000 meters. Okay, I want you to use this pattern. I want you to finish the chart. So go ahead, pause, and take time to finish this chart. One kilometer, 500 meters equals how many meters? I'm pretty sure we can solve this just by knowing that 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters. How will that help us? See, here's the deal. You can't just add kilometers with meters. You have to stop and you have to break it down somehow. And right now, what we want to do is we want to break down the kilometers into meters. Because if we have meters plus meters, then we can answer the question. But right now we have 1 kilometer, 500 meters. And they want to know how many meters total we have. And to get that, we're going to have to convert our 1 kilometer to meters. So let's look at this. 1 kilometer, 500 meters. I know that 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters. So I drew a circle and I put 1,000 meters down below. That leaves me with 500 meters. So I'm going to draw another circle and I'm going to put that down below. Now, can I add these 2 numbers? 1,000 meters plus 500 meters. Yes. 1,000 meters plus 500 meters equals 1,500 meters. Okay, let's move on to the next slide and see if we're correct. Yes. 1 kilometer, 500 meters is also the same as 1,500 meters. Because remember, 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters. Let's look at the next one. I want you to try this one and then we will go over it together. 5 kilometers, 30 meters equals how many meters? Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of help here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to circle the kilometers and we're going to draw an extra bubble down below. And I want you to remember that 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters. So 5 kilometers equals how many meters? And don't forget, you're going to take what's left over and you're going to add it to what you get when you reduce 5 kilometers or when you convert 5 kilometers to meters. And then put your answer in the blank. Okay. Hopefully, these were the numbers that you wrote in your bubbles on the previous slide. 5,000 meters plus 30 meters. Well, what does that equal? 5,000 meters plus 30 meters equals 5,030 meters. So 5 kilometers, 30 meters is the same as 5,030 meters. Are they the same? Yes, they are exactly the same. Okay, try this one. This time I'm not drawing any circles. I want to see what you can do on your own. So go ahead, try this one out. Pause, and let's see how you do. Okay, this one was a little tricky because you can convert the 2,000 into kilometers, but then you end up with 500 meters left. So you kind of had to add a little bit of extra information to the end of this problem. So let's go through this. I know by looking at 2,500 meters, I can pull 1 kilometer out because I have at least 1,000. That would leave me with 1,500. I can pull out another 1,000, can't I? So now I've pulled out 2 kilometers. I can't pull out any more thousands, so I am left with 500 meters. If I add all the bubbles together, I will get 2 kilometers, 500 meters. So remember, 2 kilometers, another way to say that is to say 2,000. And sometimes I think of my kilometers as just, if you take out the kilometer and put a comma in its place, you have 2,500. Okay. This one looks a little tricky. We can't add 2 different units of measure. So what do you think we need to do before we add? Why don't you think on this a minute? What do we need to do? You can't add 2 different units. What do we need to do? We're going to convert the kilometers to meters. So 5 kilometers is the same as how many meters? Let's draw our circle. 5 kilometers is the same as 5,000 meters. Now what do we need to do? Okay, we've converted. We ended up with 5,000 meters. Now, can we add 5,000 meters plus 2,500 meters? Yep, I can almost do this in my head. 5,000 plus 2,000 is 7,000 plus 500 is 500. So, the answer is 7,500 meters. Now 7,500 meters is a lot of meters, Let's go ahead and convert our answer to kilometers and meters. Now we know that we have 7,000 meters. 7,000 meters is the same as how many kilometers? 7,000 meters is the same as 7 kilometers. And that leaves me with 500 meters. Now here's a question for you. Is 7,500 meters the same as 7 kilometers, 500 meters? Why or why not? I want you to use the empty spaces on the slide. And I want you to answer yes or no and then explain why you answered the way you did. What do you think? Is 7,500 meters the same as 7 kilometers, 500 meters? Go ahead and pause and answer the question. Okay. We'll get a little trickier. We have 1 kilometer, 734 meters. Or we could say we have 1,734 meters plus 4 kilometers, 396 meters. Or, remember you could take out the km, the kilometers, and replace it with a comma, and then you have 4,396 meters. So you can solve this problem 2 different ways. You can convert kilometers to meters before you add, or you can add them and convert the sum. What does the word sum mean? The word sum is the answer to an addition problem. Okay, and it's S-U-M, not S-O-M-E. So let's look at how I solved this problem. First of all, I took 1 kilometer, 734 meters, plus 4 kilometers, 396 meters, and I just stacked them on top of each other and added. This gave me 5 kilometers, 1,130 meters. This is the simplifying strategy. Now the problem is, if you look closely, I have 1,000 meters. Well, 1,000 meters is the same as 1 kilometer. So if I take off my 1,000 and I move it to the left, I carry it over, my 5 is going to become a 6. So that leaves me with 6 kilometers, 130 meters. Now I could do this problem another way. I could convert everything to meters first. I could say 1,734 meters plus 4,396 meters equals 6,130 meters. That leaves me with how many in the thousands place? 6. That would give me the same, 6 kilometers, 130 meters. This is an algorithm strategy where you break it down and you add them together, and then when you're done, you convert. Can you solve this one using the simplifying method? I'll give you a hint. You need to borrow a kilometer since you can't subtract 140 from nothing. So if you were to borrow a kilometer, what number is going to go on top of your 140 meters? I borrowed 1 kilometer. So basically, what it would look like is if I took 1 kilometer away from my 10, that would give me 9 kilometers. And how many meters? 1,000 meters. So I have 9 kilometers, 1,000 meters, minus 3 kilometers, 140 meters. Go ahead and see if you can solve that problem. Okay, if I borrow 1 kilometer, that will give me 1,000 meters. So what I ended up with was 6 kilometers, 860 meters. Would it have been easier to solve this using the algorithm method? If I used the algorithm method, I would have ended up with 10,000 meters minus 3,140 meters. Use whichever method works best for you. I just want to remind you that you need to know these to do your assignment today. 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. 1 meter equals 1,000 kilometers. So I'm going to go ahead and do the first few problems on your problem set just to kind of help you out a little bit. Okay, we have 1 kilometer equals how many meters? Well, it equals 1,000. 1 meter equals how many centimeters? 100. Convert these measurements. 3 kilometers, 312 meters. Well, 3 kilometers is the same as 3,000 meters. 312. Okay, 3 meters, 56 centimeters. 3 meters is the same as 300 centimeters and 56. Okay, go ahead and try out the rest on your own. I think that you should do a pretty good job on it. If you don't understand it, you may need to rewatch some of this video to help you out.